Yeah. So how did that meeting go with Micah?
He's very knowledgeable. It went really well. He explained other things that no other like Google professional has ever explained to us. So it was
Yeah.
very eye opening. He's just overall super knowledgeable. We signed it on. We brought him onto
Really?
the team. Yeah. So
Wow.
we're excited on where he can lead us, including revamping up our website, even though we just rebuilt it a few months ago.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Um,
but he was just pointing things out that we just couldn't overlook.
yeah.
And he was just saying a lot of things that made sense to where we want to go. So we're like, why hesitate? Caesar was like, why hesitate? Like, let's go, let's get this signed. We're having hopefully a kickoff meeting next Friday to start. So we're excited.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So we were talking with Cesar and Christina out of California, Orange County, custom painting and decorating. And we're talking about how, one of the people I recommend it as far as getting their website and Google kind of off the ground and running. And they just signed on with them. So that's huge. And yeah, Micah, he's a killer, man. I mean, he's been in the industry for a long, long time. And also his work speaks for itself. Like people rave about this guy, and then when you see it, the websites, it kind of is like, well, the proof's right in the pudding. You know what I mean? And it's great because yeah, the size that you guys are at, doing over 2 million every single year, it's like we kind of have to get those to the point where it's like undeniable that you're the real deal, So we're catching up to where you guys got to with all these other pieces with the Facebook, the Google, and the marketing, right? So it's exciting. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that, right? Like when you guys first, discovered kind of what we have going on, me, the coaching, kind of what did that process look like overall?
So we have been in business for about 6 years. We're mostly a family-run company. So everybody was kind of wearing different hats. We didn't really have, like a certain goal or like a certain system put in place just because we were more family oriented. And like I said, we were wearing so many different hats. So we started coaching with you, and that's
Mhm.
been like a real eye opener into let's go from a family business into a multi-million dollar business as a goal. So it's really opened up our eyes, not just you, but the amazing people that you recommended into how we can take those steps into becoming that company, not only in our mindset, which you have been amazing in motivating us, opening up our minds in with your podcast and with these professionals that you recommend, but just overall getting to that next level
Yeah.
of how we can get there, putting the systems into place. So it's just been an amazing journey so far in really laying down the foundation, and you've been so helpful into taking those steps, and putting them in a very action sizable. That's amazing, this journey so far, so thank you.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because it's almost like you guys were like falling forward. It's
Yeah.
like at first you had so much that you were dealing with like nothing really implemented. Like yeah, we had an admin. We were getting some systems and things figured out as we went, but we really like took a step back and said, okay, like what does everything look like that we're doing? All of these leads, all this revenue, no sales rep, right? All these leads, all this revenue, no real marketing to kind of back it up. And it's like now that we're catching up, like I said, to kind of where you guys, can be and are going. It's like now you guys see much greener grass in front of you, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're now, at first it was kind of like we're figuring this out every single year, and we're just kind of running with it. To now, it's like wow, there's more that we can do. Like we could easily double this in the next year or so, and that's like very reasonable now. Whereas before it was probably like, well, if we get there, we get there. If not, it is what it is. And it's interesting too, because before you guys got on with me, you guys had like some type of coaching deal going on, right? With somebody else. What was that like?
Yeah, we had another coaching company guide us. It had been almost close to a year. So it was just a different style, and it wasn't as focused as painting like you are. Like you're super, um, you know, your niche is painting. So that was like, the cream to the top for us. So that coaching first was a little bit more general. And just the approach was way different. It was more almost like a life coaching, like just like
Hmm.
general, like I think it was just too general, even though they mention and they market construction, but it was just a different approach and a different life changing ways that it changed for
Yeah.
us coming into your coaching, because it was more niche, it was more specific, and we like saw results like right away. Like we saw that mindset in us start shifting like right away, as opposed to the other company that was more like general.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because then there's a lot of like even painting coaches out there, but I think the difference you get with me is like I'm the actual one kind of in the trenches with you guys. I mean, how many things have we said like, Aiden, could you help me out with that? Like, just get it figured out and we'll run with it, and I'll put something together for you, right? And that's like an asset to have in your corner, throughout the weeks to kind of just say, hey, Aiden can get us, whether I'm connecting you with people, creating resources, helping you implement it, educating you on it. And it's very personable to what you guys have going on specifically with the painting and kind of your exact process or situation, right? So I thought it was like impeccable timing too, right? Because for use, like the money was always there for the most part, right? That wasn't really the biggest thing. It wasn't like, hey, we're trying to get to 5 million. It was like, no, let's figure out what we got going on and really get some of Cesar's time back. I think that was probably the biggest thing that we kind of got out of this, because not only do we have the painting business, but we also have a remodeling business. And that probably came out of like just the ability to do it, right? Like we had guys that were super capable that could do multi-trade. And it was like, how do we free up Cesar's time and really systemize this thing to now blow up this other venture that is like a huge opportunity for us? So do you feel like we've gotten closer to that point and kind of what you guys were trying to achieve?
Oh, absolutely. Like with other coaching, like I mentioned, we were coaching for a few months, and the end goal was always the same of let's get Caesar out. As the owner, he was wearing so many different hats that he couldn't really be an owner. So that
Yeah.
was always the first goal in mind. And even after a few months, it's kind of like, well, we have goals, but how do we implement these? How do we go from here? And with you, like right away, it's like, no, our priority is a sales rep. Like quickly, you helped us with the descriptions. I think within that week, like we hired this guy, like you trained him,
Yeah.
and now I feel more confident in saying, okay, he can, the new sales rep can go by himself in a few weeks once training is done, and then we can have Caesar step out, which was the main goal, and it's been the main goal for like more than a year with this
Yeah.
other coach and now you, and you just brought us so much closer than before of now, okay, he can step out and we can duplicate what you taught us for the sales reps,
Yeah.
and do the same thing with 2 3 4 sales reps in the future. But at least we feel good that the foundation is being laid down, and we can visualize more of where are we going,
Mm-hmm.
of what steps we need to take to get where we need to go.
Yeah. And also like, there's almost only so much we can do in 6 weeks. So it's kind of like you had to hit the ground running, and then you guys decided, hey, there's way more that we need to do within the business, right? When you go into something that is so big with so many moving parts that you kind of got to dial in each individual one. It's like you guys said, hey, let's renew for another 6 and let's continue this thing until we feel like we're extremely comfortable and we're ready to go. And like you said, you were with this other company for, I don't know how many months, but it sounds like, a while. And then within 2 months, we were able to really get to the goal and the kind of the center point of what we were trying to do fairly quickly, taking action every single week. Hey, let's get this stuff done. Let's get this marketing done. Let's put this system into place, right? So it's cool how fast it can get done when you're like laser focused.
Yeah.
And then for Cesar, what do you feel like about, how the process went with like getting the sales rep, how things are going now? Do you feel like now you do have that mindset of, all right, I am on the cusp of now finally getting somebody to take this responsibility off of me?
Yeah, it's been very well. Like, the way we training the new sales rep, the way you're teaching us how to train him, what kind of system we gotta follow, the sales process that we gotta, implement on him. Yeah, it's been great. I'm able to actually take a week vacation and leave the sales rep, taking
Mm-hmm.
over. It's been amazing. It's been I feel so less stress.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can actually go out and, you know take 2 3 hours away from my day, away from all the stress and driving around, meeting all of these clients.
Yeah.
Now I can just leave it to somebody else and focus on the actual business, on the process, and kind of like the heart of the company.
Yeah, like oversee everything, do what a
Yeah,
true owner is supposed to be doing, you
yeah,
know?
and it's little by little. I know we're kind of like into the transition of going
Yeah.
there and getting more people and kind of like copying that system and now copy it again and just replicate everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, in 6 weeks it wasn't enough for us. We saw that there was more. The six
Mm-hmm.
weeks was barely kind of like the appetizer, if you wanna.
Right.
Yeah, now it's just the appetizer. Now we're going into the main plate, and that's,
Mm-hmm.
need more time with you, and yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll
It,
continue.
it,
We want to
it,
see what's next.
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember when we first got together, I was like, we have to start landing jobs in the spot. And you were like, I really never did that before. I just give the price and I kind of just say, hey, get back to us. And then we brought the sales rep, and within the first couple of weeks, he landed his first one on the spot. You know what I mean? So when you take that different approach and set, things up in a way where it's different, you got to get used to it. But for somebody that has, know nothing else, he comes in and he has the confidence because it's like, well, this is new to me. I've never done it any other way. So you
Yeah,
can run with that now and continue to build that development. And he's raw too. So to be able to do that at such a young age with like not a ton of sales experience is like it's a credit to you guys too for setting him up for success and taking action and saying, we're not going to rush this. So it's
yeah,
important because I can only do so much. It's for you guys to follow through with everything.
Right. But you've been so amazing in guiding us. I think it's so common for family businesses to stay a family business and just, stay there for many, many years. Like it's hard for a family business to outgrow that narrative of, oh, we're just a family business
Mm-hmm.
into a multi-million, maybe possibly franchise model. It's hard to overcome that.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're finally moving from, okay, we're a family owned business to, a bigger, more replicable company that's moving the needle here in our Southern California, that it could be recognized as a big company,
Mm-hmm.
compared to our competition around here. So it's been an amazing ride so far, and we're just excited to what you can help us achieve.
To fly out there soon enough. We're gonna get that done. It has to happen. I think there's something different about like having, me actually out there and going through the very, very detailed things and the situational things and just having like time instead of just that session to say like, hey, we have this morning or afternoon to really dive deep into this. So I think that's going to be a game changer and we can definitely get that done. So comes with time.
yeah. No, that's I think that's gonna be a game changer that you don't get it with any other coach. There is no way
Exactly.
another coach is gonna say, Caesar, I'll take the weekend off to go meet you and guide you and see you process and
Across the
actually live,
country.
live real. That's I think that's gonna be a game changer, and no other company will do it. I'm pretty sure. The,
Yeah.
the difference between you and the other company we had on coaching is the level of energy that you bring.
Mm.
The motivation. It's another level. Yeah.
I wasn't always like that either. Like I had mentors and people that helped me out with that. Like if you would ask people maybe 2 years ago, like I was a grouch, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was an actual person that was bad energy to be around, and it probably was because of a mix of things. It was uncertain time in my life and just trying to figure things out. But I think once I kind of figured out, like, hey, I have a bigger purpose now, right? I talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but like, I think when you say, grass is green in front of me. I have a purpose now. I have goals that I've set out, and I got to be laser focused. And whatever the people that are relying on me need, like I have to make sure I'm there for them, right? That's why I'm so into this community, right? This community we've built. I mean, you guys see it every day. Nobody has to give the information that they give in that chat, right? They do it just because it helps everybody. I mean, talk to a little bit about that. You know, what do you get also, just aside from me, like what do you get from being in the group, the resources, that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, the community you have, they're all over. They're all about helping each other. It's just amazing how, you can be greedy. You can just hide and say, no, this is all me, And the level that they do, they just share everything. It's like, oh, talk to your sales rep, do this type of marketing. This is where I do the marketing, and it works better.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that information, it just brings you to the next level. If
Yeah.
we were getting 20 leads a week. Now we're getting 40 leads a week because of all of that help that it's just they know that it works, and they just want to help you. Hey, do this in your city, and it'll pay out.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you're getting insight from other cities, other states, different levels of businesses and different niches. You know what I mean? So it's like the information is like, maybe you don't need that specific little tidbit right now, but just keep it in the back of your head, because if that ever pops up, you're good to go now, you know? And I think also, too, is we kind of keep it limited, right? Because we're not just adding everybody possible, right? There's people I have to deny because it's like you're in an area that one of our guys are already in, or maybe you're just not the right fit and I don't get the right vibe from you because I'm working with you intimately. Like I have to have some level of likeness and trust, right? Because you could honestly take everything we have and just put it out there for everybody. You can make it your own and become your own coach, right? What can I really do about that? There's, some gray area, but it's like I have to trust everybody that comes in here, and I'm in grind phase, I feel like I'm myself, like just scratching the surface on what can happen with me, what is to be done, in the last year, just like you guys, I've made strides in my own. So it's like, we're all doing this, side by side together. So it's like it's weird timing. It's unique. It's something that even I've never experienced, honestly. And it's just about positive energy and keeping it steadfast. And like, I think number one is like having high morals, that's probably number one to me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, we cannot control everything. We wish we could,
Yeah,
but you just give it out, and expecting nothing in return.
exactly.
That's what it is.
Like I made a document today on a session that we had, and it was like pre-qualification on appointments. You could easily take that and just run with it and give it to people, and that's worth something, but I'm making these resources to make sure everybody has success and can be better and grow, so it's cool, man. It's cool. What would you say, like the biggest thing you got out of overall, the entire coaching?
The biggest, I would say, the foundation of the business, the heart of what you gotta do to grow. That would
Mm-hmm.
be the best. That and the motivation. You kind of give us, you kind of make the road. You make a line and just say, Caesar, if you do this, you're gonna get there. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna take time. It's not gonna be like overnight, but the road, at least I can see that there is a finish line, and that I can grow the company, and that is possible.
Yeah.
There's other companies out there, like you said in the chat, that they're just doing the same thing I'm doing. It's just marketing, following up with the clients, and if you have a system like how you've been teaching us, it's easy. It
Mm-hmm.
is possible. So you kind of gave me that hope that it is possible to do something. To grow the company, to
Yeah.
become who you want to become. Yeah,
I
that's
think it's avoiding too, like going through missteps, like, hey, get connected with these people or do these things because it's going to save you time, money, energy. You don't got to worry about messing up because you don't have to rewrite the whole model. The model's there for you. Do it your way though, put your twist on it. Right. So
yeah.
those are all still things that we're working on and implementing. So I'm excited about it. But then I would say, lastly, what would you say to people that are considering joining the coaching?
I would say do it. If you don't do it, you're missing out. You're missing out big. If you join, it'll pay out. I like 100% confident that it'll pay out at the end. Yeah, just give him the trust. Give the opportunity to the process to work. It's not gonna be over time. It's gonna take time, but if you just keep doing what Aiden is telling you to do, it'll work.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah.
And do you think there's like a cap? Like, is there a specific amount you should be making just starting out, millions? Like, where do you feel like the sweet spot for me on my services? And, you obviously, you guys are doing like 2.5-ish. Do you feel like I could coach people that are bigger than that? Or should I stick to lower, just trying to get some input?
Say, yeah, you can grow any company. Just the level of knowledge that you have, knowing that you know the products, that you know how painting companies work, that you actually have a company, on your own. I would say you can grow any company from scratch to already somebody working on it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we're a good example because you hear, oh, the company is making 2.5. They know what they're doing. They have their systems in place. They know their numbers. And then you come in and you ask us, what's your numbers? What's your profit? And we're like, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We think we have our things in order, but we don't. So just because somebody is making these millions doesn't really tell you anything until you get down to the nitty gritty of what's your process? How can we improve it? What are your numbers? How can we improve those? So I think from the beginning of where we're of any company starting, helping them with the foundation up to, multi-million-dollar companies, that you can better their process. There's just always something to better, but you just don't know until we have your expertise on board and you start, nitpicking at everything and seeing how it could be better. So I think you can definitely go from zero to the sky of, growing these companies.
Yeah. And the level of care, the level of you caring for your clients, it's like you care so much where it kind of makes you feel like you're like another family member or like another part of the team. I feel like, okay, he's taking care of us, like, hey, if I ever let you go, I'm gonna miss you a lot. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's keep making progress so we can keep Aiden on the team, keep having his knowledge, keep having the feedback, just having that feedback of, okay, we're struggling in these, and having you to answer and view the company from the outside. It's just another part of your eyes that will change. It will change the company.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way, guys. It's been an awesome ride so far, and I've been appreciative to get to know yous and for you guys to let me into your business, and that's basically your personal life. You know what I mean? Everything is intertwined a lot of times, right? Like we're literally meeting in your house once a week, and then helping you guys grow your team and really just kind of going and saying, how can we get you your time back, get more take-home money, and see what we can do to help level this thing up. So I'm excited for what's in store. I appreciate you guys doing this. And if you have any last words, shoot them out. If not, pretty much wrap it up.
I would say coaching with you once a week is kind of like my hour of inspiration, my hour of kind of like feeding myself with information and more motivation for the next week. So if there is any other company or another owner thinking about it, don't even think about it. Go ahead and do it. It's going to pay out. It's going to be worth it. You're going to enjoy every single week meeting with Aiden. It's going to give you the motivation you need, the systems, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be
golden. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll talk soon. All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day. I'll talk to you.
Thank you.
See ya.